I want to wish everybody in the Medina's family for hosting the shiur all the berachot. Hashem give you good health and parnasa, easy, Be'ezrat Hashem, to you, to all the participants. I want to dedicate this shiur for a speedy recovery, refuah shelema, to the Roches family, and Shelby and the Murphy's family, and everybody, any names you want to mention, to be a speedy recovery, refuah shelema. You know, we learn many times that the power of Torah and the power of simcha, joy, can open gates and change your mazal for the best. There is not long ago, I was a rabbi in Israel, famous rabbi, that unfortunately he got the sickness. He got cancer. In Israel they call it hamahala, the sickness. They don't want to say the name, so they call it the sickness. God forbid. We should all be healthy. Be'ezrat Hashem should be all these sicknesses on our Jewish people enemies. Amen. So he was really suffering, going to chemotherapy and mamash balagan, and they told him, the doctors, I need to be careful. And then pandemic started, COVID-19. His immune system was on its lowest level because due to all the medications he gets. And they warned them, they called him and called the family and says, you have to watch him and you got to stay home. You don't leave the house because you're in a very high risk. If you get COVID, corona, that's it, you're done. And he really watched it. He did anything in his power to study at home, and he had to go through, very hard treatment. And he really watched himself, and the family watched. But guess what? He got the corona. COVID-19, right? He got the corona. He got sick. And surprisingly, his body was able to overcome the corona. And I don't know what happened in his body, but it's like the whole blood rejuvenate, and he was able to kill the cancer as well at the same time. So the doctor says they never saw such thing. He was like a dead man walking. And he explained that what really made the change is two things: emunah and bitachon. Belief in God and trust Hashem. He says, nonetheless, he was going through a horrible time. He believed in God that He will save him, and he was in joy. And when he got the corona, he was even more joyful. He knows that Hashem is testing him. This is a very hard thing to do. People will usually do, Hashem, we already got this, you're giving me all that, on the top of what I have already. And what did they do wrong? I'm talking about serious rabbi that's studying Torah and teaching and really tzaddik. If you examine his actions, it'll be hard for him to find where the glitches are. But yet he never questioned God. And Hashem was waiting for that. And in 1 second, the verdict came, you'll be healthy and you get long life. No more therapy, no more chemotherapy, no more corona, nothing. The power of belief, the power of trust, the power of joy, the power of simcha can save person. Because with the power of simcha, joy, you can open closed gates. When we complain and we cry for nothing, we are closing gates in Shamayim. The only way to open it is do the opposite. Joy. Hashem will put you sometimes in positions that you think there is no way out. There's only one way and I'm done. Wrong. There's always way. There's always Hashem. There's always a time to say tefillah, to learn more Torah, to do more tzedakah, to do the unconventional things, unconventional remedies. What we in Judaism believe, this is the remedy. We only ask that Hashem will send a good messenger. So the doctor won't do a mistake, will give the right remedy, will not mess up in the surgery. I'm telling you this because I spent 2 months in Israel helping my father, which is had to go through rehab. And then when the Hamas shot rockets, he ran to a shelter, he fell and he broke his thigh. I think is the strongest bone in the human body. He broke it. So he was rushed to the hospital. In the hospital, in the waiting room, there are more people there waiting. They didn't get hit from the missiles, just running to the shelter. One cut his hand, the other lady broke her head, broke the leg, the hand, you name it. Not to talk about the anxiety, hearing the siren, listening, hearing the boom, the bombs. This is not easy. And he went through his surgery. And he was messed up. I saw a video and I see his leg is bent. I said, what is this? Did they fix it or didn't fix it? It turns out they put the screw not the right way. So another surgery. And all this time they don't tell you who did that. Another surgery, my father in his age has to go again through the whole process. So I always told them, before I came, it all happens like 2 or 3 weeks prior to my arrival to Israel. I always told them that they have to be with the spirit up, keep up the good faith, keep up saying Tehillim. We can preach about it, we can teach about it, but it comes to your door, some people act differently. So we always ask Hashem, don't test me, please don't test. We say it every morning. Hashem, don't put me into test, because I'm afraid I might fail. But when you pass the test, Hashem does miracles to you. One of the great things we've learned that we can earn beracha from Hashem is to stick to the truth. No matter how hard it is, the truth will reveal eventually, and the truth will win, and lies will be discovered. Yafa. I hope you hear me well. The microphone is a little bit far away.
Now that the exile has been so greatly prolonged because of our many sins, Jews should separate themselves even more from the vanities of the world and hold fast to the seal of the Holy One, blessed be He, which is truth. They should sanctify themselves by abstaining even from what is permissible, in Yevamot 28, and lie neither to Jews nor Gentiles, nor mislead them in any way, as it is written in Zephaniah 3:13.
Hold on. The Torah commanding me how to act toward my brother. Don't lie, don't teach, don't steal. Why do I have to treat the same way the non-Jew? Where it says, for example, about Lashon Hara, that I'm not supposed to say Lashon Hara about a non-Jew. Can we say Lashon Hara to another Jew? No. Against a non-Jew, by the way, it's not a sin. But our sages saying, recommending and teaching us, don't do it even against a non-Jew. Because...
You get in the habit.
Huh?
You get in the habit.
You get the habit, right. And then it turns out you will say Lashon Hara against your fellow Jew. Stealing, if you steal from a Jew, you steal from a non-Jew, it's worse from a non-Jew. Why? At least make it equal. Why the punishment is greater if I steal from a non-Jew?
Because the Goyim is going to
Criticize,
and
and you're gonna what you're gonna create out of it? Hilul Hashem, disgrace of Hashem's name on the top of it. You see the Jews, they love money. It's all about the money. They're stealing. Okay, remind me, I have a story. Maybe I'll finish the class with this story. Okay, go ahead.
The remnant of Israel will not do wrong, and they will not speak falsely, and the language of deceit will not be found in their mouths.
Right.
And it is further written in Hosea 2:25, and I will sow her, meaning Israel, for me in the land. And does a man not sow Asea only to gather in several cure? So the Holy One, blessed be He, exiled the Jews among the nations only so that converts could be added to their numbers.
You see, take this sentence, write it down, and mark it with bold letters. I'm going to read it again.
He exiled the Jews among the nations only so that the converts should be added to their numbers. Pesachim 87b.
You hear that? Let me there is a reason why we're still in exile. There is a lot of neshamot, a lot of souls that are lost, and they belong to the Jewish people. And Hashem wants you to bring them back because Mashiach is about to come. He don't want them to be lost in Mexico, Venezuela, I don't know, Europe, America.
Cuba.
Hashem says time is running. Bring them back to me. I'm talking about the sincere one, not the play games, and those are really serious. That this is a quote from the Talmud. No one can argue this. Write it down to yourself. Anybody, you can give it as a Dvar Torah to many Jews that don't know this. So the Holy Blessed One is he says that the exile, the fact that we're still in exile among the nation, so the converts should be added to their numbers. Hashem, you don't have enough 13 million Jews. It's not enough. 13, 14 million. Hashem said there's more out there. Who knows? Maybe another 2 million, 3 million. There's 10 tribes lost. You need to bring them back. I know this Talmud from many years ago, and that was this quote from the Talmud is one of the reasons I created Ohev Israel and opened this what we call Machon Legiur, institution for Gerim. It was not that strong here in Dallas. I remember when I wanted to start it around 2009, if I remember correctly. It was only through the OU, and there was nothing almost established here. You have to bring rabbis from New York, big balagan. So as I was talking with some rabbis, I said, let's create a building here, let's do it right. And Baruch Hashem, ever since, more sincere and real converts joined to the Jewish people. But how you expect a non-Jew to join the Jewish people if you deceive them, if your mouth is full of lies and curses, and you cheat your fellow friends in business? You're a bad example. You reject them. Who knows, maybe one of them or the whole family, or who knows how many of them are lost soul, they're not joining because of you, and you will be judged for it. Because instead of bringing them in, you rejected them. What did they do? I don't even know them. You're lying. You're cheating. And because of that, they say, wait, we thought maybe the Jewish people are so great, maybe they don't even want to hear about them. And it's your fault, it's on you. You're acting as a bad example, and you rejected potential Jews. You hear the great idea behind it? Let's finish it with one more line.
If the Jews deal with them without deceit, they will cleave to them. And the Holy One, blessed be He, looked with disfavor upon the stealing of the wicked, as it is written in Bereshit 6:11. And the earth was filled with theft. It is told in Devarim Rabbah 3:3 that the disciples of Rabbi Shimon ben Shattach finding a precious stone hanging from the neck of the donkey that he had purchased from the Ishmaelite, brought it to him and said, "Oh, our master, the blessing of Hashem makes one rich." Mishlei 10:22, i.e., this is a gift to you from God. In which he replied, "I bought a donkey. I did not buy a precious stone." Thus saying, he went and returned the stone to the Ishmaelite, who thereupon proclaimed, "Blessed is Hashem, the God of Shimon ben Shattach." There is a similar instance in Yerushalmi, Bava Metzia 2:5. Some wise old sages bought wheat from the Gentiles and found in it a bundle of money, which they returned. The Gentiles exclaimed, "Blessed is the God of the Jews." There are many similar accounts there of such restoration on behalf of the sanctification of
Rabbi Shimon ben Shattach bought a donkey. When the donkey came, they found that he has a rope around his neck, like all the donkeys, or at least this is how they sold the donkey, so they can take him to its new owner. But in the rope was a very precious stone. The students, they're great scholars, they came to Rabbi Shimon Shattach and says, "Rabbi, Hashem did miracle to you. You got a donkey, you paid for him, I don't know, $500. You get a precious stone, maybe worth $30,000. Hey, Hashem made a special delivery without Amazon, right? Directly to your home." Woo! Rabbi Shimon ben Shattach says, No. Bring it back to this Ishmael, this Arab guy. "Rabbi, what are you talking about? Hashem will give it to you. He doesn't even know. Maybe it's his, it's not his. Who knows? It's yours. You bought it with everything that is on it." He told them, "No, I bought a donkey. I didn't buy a precious stone. If Hashem wants to give me a precious stone, he'll do it in a different way."
He didn't have a sign?
He gave it back. And the Ishmael says, "I was looking for this for such a long time." And he started to bless the God of the Jews. See how you can sanctify Hashem's name? It was a similar story, I think that maybe 3 years ago, with a Jewish guy from New York that he bought on something that we have like offer up. I don't know how he bought it with the marketplace. It was a cabinet. What was it?
Yeah, it was a cabinet. There was money behind the drawer.
Around $100,000. $100,000. So he found out who is the owner and he gave it back. Anybody that gets something like that, think seriously, would you give it back?
I don't know.
The sign says...
Listen, it's an honest answer. I don't know if it's easy for him to give it back or not, but this story was so famous. He sanctified Hashem's name in so many ways. It was on so many channels. Be sure Hashem paid him million times more. But it's still a great test. How are you going to act? What are you going to do if you find something like that? And the Talmud is full of these kind of stories. The problem is, the way the other nation looks at the Jews is like those who are hungry for money. It's all about the money. You know how many times I have people that want to convert, and when I'm interviewing them, and many, I don't say many, but some of them says, one of the reason is I'm not in a good monetary, financial good state, and I know the Jews have a good mazal, good fortune with this. Basically, he wants to convert because he thinks that way it makes him rich. Usually, my answer to these kind of people: don't call us, we call you, and if of course we don't call him. Okay, it's not sincere. You need to come join Judaism to accept upon yourself all the yoke of Torah. It's a burden. It's not. It was the great rabbis, Rabbi Zusha and Rabbi Noam Elimelech, were brothers, and they were exiled, going to exile every other month. They're going other places, suffering, not because of their own, God forbid, sins, in order to atone Israel. One time they got to a city, and it was a big deal in that city that someone or some people stole fortune from very important person, and all of a sudden they see Jews with faces not familiar walking in the sand. They said, "Oh, we got them here. These guys, they love money. These guys, these are the thieves." And they took them, Reb Zusha and great tzaddikim, throwing them to the to jail. Imagine to yourself, they suspect Chacham Ovadia Yosef and Rabbi Kanievsky together. You stole it, boom, to jail. Now they're sitting in jail. You can imagine it's not air conditioned. It's horrible. And all of a sudden, normally they have a great, great faith in Hashem. They're always in Simcha. He saw that his brother's crying. Reb Zusha is crying. Reb Zusha lives in poverty. And he was crying. He says, "Brother, why are you crying? What happened?" "What happened? I'm in jail." "Whatever, are you crying?" So he says, "Because I want to pray mincha and I can't pray mincha." He said, "Why you can't pray mincha?" He says, because the pasuk says, "Vehaya machanecha kadosh," that your surrounding or your camp should be holy at all time. Meaning, when you want to daven, you want to pray, your area is supposed to be clean. They're in a small room, and it was. You know the story. So they had in the middle of the room, they had a pot, toilet pot, which the non-Jews left with all the, what's inside. Not to talk about the smell and the disgusting thing there. So Rav Nochum Melech understand now why he said, but he didn't understand. He argued it. He said, "My dear brother, the same halacha that teach us that you have to pray only in the clean area said, if it's not clean, you don't pray. Same halacha. One time the halacha say you should, and the halacha say you shouldn't." So Rabbi Zusha looked at him and says, "You're right. Okay." So now says, "Okay, now let's dance. Let's dance." And they were started dancing. Oh yo 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 yo, oh yo 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 yo, Shila Malo, and the guard says, "Quiet over there," and they even singing even more. Oh yo 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 yo, mitzvah gedola liot besimcha. Sheket, quiet. They don't listen to him. So the guard comes, is looking, and says, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I see. You're dancing around the pot." "Okay." He get in. He says, "No, you don't have nothing to dance around." And he took it out. Now he says, "Brother, now you can pray mincha." And you can see sometimes how you say you make from a lemonade. The power of joy, the power of tefillah can change mazal for the best, can change people. You need to learn how to accept. You need to understand Hashem is above, is looking, and everything is planned. Everything is written. If you think you can change something in Hashem's plan, you have a big mistake. Hashem put in front of you different way and different choices. You should always choose the one that is according to the Torah and the Halakha, and do it with the joy. We should stick to the truth, especially nowadays when we are getting closer to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and learn from the stories of our forefathers, of the great rabbis that lived in our generation and the generation before. It's not just stories. These stories come to teach us something, how and what we need to change in our own life. Can you imagine finding $100,000 and giving it back? To whom? And what if it's not his? What if that lady bought it from someone else and it's in the other guy? The evil inclination give you all the reasoning why not to sanctify Hashem's name right now. I remember that I told you this story on Indianapolis. One day I found a wallet. I usually, when we came, So they told us, in certain places, you go with a baseball hat. If you see with the kippah, it might cause a problem. So I get used to, if I'm not in school or in the synagogue, to go with a baseball hat. Okay, so one day I'm driving and I see something black on the floor. I stopped and I see it's a wallet full of money and driver's license. I couldn't find the phone number of this guy. Baruch Hashem, I was able to find out the address because there was no phone number, and I drove there and I knocked on the person's door. But before that, I took the baseball hat off and I put kippah. And I went to this guy. He opened the door. He looked at me. He thought I'm coming probably to ask for money or something. He said, "Listen, I'm a Jew, and as a Jew, we've learned if I found something, I have to give it back to its owner. By the way, the halacha permit me to take it." I didn't want to tell him all the foolish stick of the halacha, because if the mass majority are non-Jewish, I can keep it. But I didn't want either the money, or I wanted to have the opportunity to sanctify Hashem's name. And as a Jew, I am required to give it back. He looked at me and says, "Where did you find it?" And he found out that he put a cup and the wallet on the car. He took the drinks and they left the wallet. And he drove and he fell. He already started the process of canceling this and that, and he was so happy. So what did he do? He opened the wallet. What did he want to do? He wanted to give me a gift. He says, no. You're taking from the mitzvah if you're giving me money. I want Hashem to pay me, not you. I didn't say that, but that's what I meant to. He was amazed. And he started to tell me, "Oh, I've learned about the Jews. I'm going to a church. Where are you from?" "Israel." "I want to visit in Israel." Well, we become best friends. Hashem putting before us many opportunities. One time is a wallet. Another time is how we act in Tam Tam or at Walmart. We have many opportunities to show and teach others what we are representing as a Jew. Hopefully, I hope we're doing a good job. But today we've learned that we have responsibilities, not only toward our families, kids, wife, husband, also the people around us. We are still in exile for a reason, to bring more and more converts sincere to join the Jewish people. Be'ezrat Hashem, I want to wish that Hashem will give me and you the strength, the power, the ability to bring more and more sincere and real, serious families, those that wants to spread love, compassion, love to Torah, support Torah, no questions asked. And more importantly is to know that we have one Hashem, we have one Torah, one halacha, and we don't question the Torah. If anybody wants to question the Torah and start, maybe it's not for him. But if you are ready to, submission, to submit before God, it means that you're halfway. This responsibility is not on Rabbi Shimon only. No, each and every one of us around this table, on all those who hear us, to bring real converts and to be as an example, to beautify mitzvot, to show that we spend money for great tefillin, great talit, arbat aminim, the special fruit and food we put on Shabbat and Rosh Hashanah and the holidays, not for the sake of eating. Eating is good, for the sake of doing it for Hashem. Hashem, with this food, I'm going to give strength. I can wake up in the morning and come to tefillah. That way, we are fulfilling the purpose Hashem put us in this world, and we can rectify our neshamot. To be Be'ezrat Hashem in times of Mashiach, we get the merit to see Mashiach. That's the only way to see Be'ezrat Hashem Mashiach. Any question? On behalf of Ohev Israel Foundation, I want to thank you. I want to remind you that Be'ezrat Hashem next Sunday, what time is it? 5 o'clock. It's Be'ezrat Hashem. It's mandatory. It's a must. Everybody participate. We'll give you Be'ezrat Hashem more details on our plans and what we're going to do, and so forth and so on. Right now, focus on what we've learned, and Be'ezrat Hashem, Hashem will bring upon us only good things, and the next year will be so great, better than all the year before. As we sing, Tichle Shana V'Kilelotea, Tachel Shana Uvichotea. May the year with all the curses will be finished, and all the new year with only blessing will come upon us. I want to thank you on behalf of Ohev Israel, for all those who are supporting us. There are people here sitting around the table that always supporting. I don't want to mention names to take from your mitzvah, but supporting Israel, Ohev Israel generously. God bless you. See you Be'ezrat Hashem next week. I think it's maybe a little bit earlier. Be'ezrat Hashem, Hashem will bring upon you only good things. Shalom, shalom.
תודה רבה, הרב.